And we are live. Back on this Monday, you know what I'm saying? Staying consistent. As you see, it's only two of us. Our third mate, weak. Okay,
Wig,
he's not feeling well.
wig.
He's still weak. He's still weak, but it's okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead talk about a few things that went on in the news and stuff like that. So just give a quick overview. We're gonna be talking about D23 coming up, I think, this week, and
This week.
Xmen announcements. Yep. Some intel and some reports coming out about Marshall Ali as far as the blade and why that didn't go, and the route they want to pivot. Right. Um, what else? Favorite we were talking about beforehand.
Uh, Cancellation of Wonder Man.
Right.
You know, got them nominated for an Emmy, but they decided to cancel it. We're gonna dive a little bit into it, but what else? Avengers or all the rest of the
Oh
Marvel news.
yeah, the March rest of the Marvel news and stuff like that. Okay, so cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get this popping. Let's just talk about the cancellation. So for you all that don't know, the cancellation of a lot of shows, but there's a lot of I want to say as far as like potentially good shows, specifically Wonder Man. A lot of people were confused, nominated, of course. And we were just talking about that offline. Also, we were discussing how this also can lead into the mutant saga, which we're going. So it didn't make
Mhm.
too much sense why I think it could be cut. I know that Marvel said that they're getting out of making shows, but I think this one could have rocked or let it be the last one, put a season two and just put a cap on it and let them be there. But what you feel like that about? Well, how you feel about it?
I mean, I think it's a little crazy. I don't know. Like I feel like this is one of those cases where the show like overly performed. Like I don't think everybody was expecting it to be as good, even though you get like a great director and a great lead actor and actually some connective tissue in the story, like good story writing. I don't think they
Yeah,
expected it to be this good. Um, it got nominated for an Emmy, the first Marvel TV show to get nominated for an Emmy, I think, since WandaVision.
it's crazy.
Um, and it went over well with what I'm saying, with fans, and I think everybody can agree that this is one of the best TV shows Marvel put out in a long time since post Endgame. So, or direct like that first slate of Disney Plus shows. This is one of the best shows that they put out, probably the best show that they put out since
Hmm.
then. And for it to get canceled, I don't know, man. I mean, is it just a business call? Because they say they're moving away from shooting TV shows, even though they spent all the money to bring them back. I don't know, but I think it's just they didn't expect this show to get too good, or I don't think they expected the show to be this good and this popular. And man, it just got caught up in the Kevin Feige budget cuts, man.
Dang, man. Yeah, it's it's one of them things where it's like I get it, and I thought it was I thought that it was just like that show in particular because I was struggling with that. I'm like, why axe their biggest show? Because transparency, y'all. I was not rocking with them just canceling it essentially in the background. We were going to talk about it last week, but we ran out of time. So I'm glad Faison and give him credit to bringing that up and saying we need to address it. But yeah, they canceled a lot, and I don't understand why. And still don't understand why. I saw that it was a combination of how Marvel. It wasn't exactly the reception; it's about how Marvel wants to move going forward. So I
Mhm.
hope that's the right decision. Um, you know, and it bodes well. But to me, I'm not feeling it. I get it, but I'm not feeling it. We have another season of Daredevil, and I know that's the last one slated,
Right.
but you know,
But what does this mean for Marvel TV? Like, I know they're trying to move away from shows, but you got Daredevil coming up. I don't. You got Vision Quest coming up in October, which is right around the corner.
yep.
So it's like, where do you go from there? They shitted on Punisher One Last Kill. They shitted on Ironheart. They shitted on what's the last show to come out before that? Agatha All Along,
Yeah, which was an underrated show.
which is an underrated show, very underrated show.
Yeah, yep.
But for this one to perform so well, bruh, and for them to just cancel it because they trying to move forward, like how you gonna you have all these characters at your disposal, like we're not gonna just throw them all in Secret Wars, are we? That'll be awful.
Yeah, I mean we're not. So that's yeah, we're not gonna do that, and I know they're not gonna do that. So I mean, I did see that Wonder Man may end up in Doomsday. Now, how
Yeah,
much of a
I
bigger
was gonna
role
say
it
that
is? Yeah, and that's cool, right? So like they're like putting the ones they know that make sense. So I'm happy. I am happy about that. I am happy about that, and I just think if you're gonna do away with all the shows, I get it. You know, I get it. So I'm I'm not mad. I mean I'm mad because I think that the model could work. I think that like you having TV shows, you having TV shows matter. And I'm be honest with you, I know it sounds messed up, but it just I don't know, man. I like the in between filling out stories. Some movies it just takes too long to produce, and I think that some things are better shows.
for sure. Especially like these grounded characters that they're trying to move towards. You see
Hmm.
how well Spider-Man did in a grounded universe. You see how well Daredevil is doing in a grounded universe. Like these are really what the comic books are. These lower level setup fights, these lower level enemies. Because being honest, the last couple, and that's the reason why I think Spider Man Brand New Day didn't have an actual villain, is because I think they've been doing villains terribly. Going back to all the way back to Thor Love and Thunder. Like, you're just wasting these villains. You're just wasting these villains and wasting these opportunities because y'all not putting enough into the shows. Like, y'all bullshit in the shows, and then when you get the movies, oh, everything's just been some big group hug. Like that shit is corny. That shit is corny.
I mean, look, if you're talking about villains, I'm not mad at that. Me and you don't see eye on certain things, but you're right. I think that Marvel also knows that they're not strong in the villain category. Because when you really think about it, there's not a lot of villains they nailed. You know, like we talked about
Oh,
last podcast, how Ultron was supposed to be something like huge, you know, and stuff like that. And it's like we've seen multiple ones. They did well with Loki, right? They did well with Loki, but you know, lightning strikes. You know, the clock is what right twice a day, right? So, but we need more than that for how much they're putting out, how much money is spent in the budget and stuff like that. And that's one thing I won't cut slack on them. I hope that they are able to make X-Men more practical and make those villains kind of like pop for sure.
I mean, X Men probably has the better cast of villains than the Avengers do. I guess. I mean, Loki was pretty decent. Thanos, of course, was decent, but that was a 10-year build up. Um, Ultron kind of failed. Ronan the Conqueror was kind of he was alright, but like you know what I'm saying, like they just been doing villains bad. So I feel like going back to the shows, man, going back to the shows. At least you have some type of like you have some type of build up to the villains in the shows. But X Men, we just talk about X Men in general. You got Apocalypse, even Magneto could be considered a villain. Like it's just a lot. It's a lot more you can play with. It's a lot more you can play with. Even the government characters in X Men, it's a lot more you can play with there when it comes to actual villainy. But Mister Sinister, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a lot. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Going forward though, like speaking of X Men, like I don't know if I'm jumping too far ahead, but we got a cast in the Cyclops. You know what I'm saying? I don't know homie resume.
Yeah.
I don't know his resume. I feel like you find any smooth faced white man, he could he could play Cyclops. So what you think about, bro? What you think about the casting in general? He looks young enough. I know he's a little bit tall. They say like over 6 feet tall. So you know what I'm saying. Cyclops is known to be like a swagged out surfer muscle man. So you know what I'm saying. Tight blue latex. You feel me?
Tight little latex is so crazy to say. That is a wild statement. So let me go ahead and pull up X Men potential casting. But but that's the thing about it. So it was between him, it was Kit Connor between Cooper, right?
Mm.
Kit Connor, I think it's got. They haven't announced it just yet per se,
That's
but
the one
it's
I've
looking
seen.
like it is. He said what?
That's the one I seen. Kit Connor.
Yeah, Kit Connor. He's pretty new. He's pretty new too. And I can't even really think of the things that he has played in. Let me go to IMDb and let's see. Because to me, he looks apart. Look like he could be the part. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's 6 foot. They said he can stack on some muscle, stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of lesser known shows. He hasn't played. Heartstopper is the most recent thing he's known for from 2022 to 2024, 24 episodes.
Definitely seen that one.
I say I haven't seen Heartstopper, but you know what? I do remember him in Warfare. I like Warfare. Underrated film, army film. I don't think it's necessarily like great. It's not like groundbreaking, but it's pretty solid. So those are the two things that he's known for. Like I said, Heartstopper. I've never heard of it, but Warfare, pretty good, decent film. I enjoyed it, and I think he could fill the role.
All
I
right. I
believe
mean,
in my role.
if you're in an army movie, that means you know what I'm saying. You got to be. You've done a little bit of physical acting, and you know what I'm saying. You can be in shape. You got some endurance to go along with it because you got to do them training scenes and all the nonsense. You know what I'm saying. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm just assuming off the roles that you're given. Heartstopper though, that means somebody think you cute. I'm guessing.
That's crazy, but I mean, he's young, so I trust Marvel casting. I think that's the one thing. I think when we talk about scripts and stuff, yeah, we could talk about
I
that.
yeah,
But
I ain't
yeah,
never doubt the casting team now.
yeah, casting team to
Never
me.
doubt
I'm
the
not gonna
casting
hold you.
team.
So
It's the edited team we gotta worry about, but that's a different story, different time, different day.
different day. Yeah, I'm about to say Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I
I
seen
think
her, she
that's
looked
yeah,
dope. Especially if you go
yeah.
for a younger, but she don't look like babyface young. She looks like young adult young, you know?
And I think that's I think that's gonna play a big role in the X-Men. Personally, what I mean, I'll get into that in a second. What I would think and kind of the route and gather consensus. You know, there's Magneto with Sebastian Shaw, Adam Driver, it's all everywhere, but he's supposed to be a lot of things. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Magneto's still in the air for me. Because Adam Driver could be William Stryker. There's a few people there like saying he can be. So I'll leave that alone. Rogue, as in was it Kaylee Spinney?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of agree with the fans. They're not feeling her because I think she's like, how could I put this without sounding crazy? Um so apparently on the internet for a few people it's like an attractive thing. And also like also apparently I'm not saying that she's not attractive, all right? I'm not saying that. But
That's
what
that's what the comments is.
that's what the comments are saying. But here's the thing. To me, I prefer somebody like stout, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
Rogue is to me is supposed to be like a bigger woman, right? So I think that not I mean what happened? Hold on, what you say, bro?
Love it how you putting this. Go ahead, keep
Yeah, yeah.
talking.
She's supposed to be a fully built out woman, right? Bigger stature and stuff like that. They're saying that she's 4'11". I'm not sure. I haven't read this up, but she's saying she's short. And I mean, with cameras and stuff, they could probably make up for that. So I'm not like a huge fan of that. But hey, I'm a Wolverine is my favorite character. Hugh Jackman was not like body structure meant to be Wolverine. He's tall, definitely put muscle on, but he made it work. So I'm not going to doubt the casting. I think that everybody should pump their brakes on it so much and stop being so harsh. And
Look,
let's see what happens.
you know what they want to see. You know what they want to see, man. You niggas is freaks. You niggas need help. Yeah. Every comment I've seen about the roadcast is like, is it fat though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
is she thick? We need to see it. It's like casting a skinny, short Miss Incredible. Like, that's what they don't want to see. They got to see how she looking in a yellow and green suit. You niggas is freaky. But for me, when it comes to Rogue, I don't really know much about the cast, the actress that's been casted. To me, it really comes down to the accent. I don't want an upper state New York Rogue. She's not from up there.
Yep.
Like they had in X-Men 2003, 2002. We don't I don't and I also don't even want that storyline. Even though I'm not going to lie, it's a very very incredible storyline and very deep because her powers are, you know what I'm saying, literally what the government's trying to do and stop. mutant abilities or take away mutants' abilities. So it makes sense if they do go that way, but I just want a fresh storyline, since they, got since they finally got the rights to the joint. Just want them to do
Mhm.
something fresh with the X-Men. It's been a long time coming. So, but for real, like I said, my main thing with Rogue, not really, I'm sure they're gonna find somebody who looks as similar as possible, but it's really about the accent and the vocal coaching they do. We don't want to have a, a Channing Tatum moment, you feel me? But it's got to be a Southern woman, at least a Southern woman. It got to sound natural.
That's rough. I mean, respectfully, as much as he's a joke character, I think the Channing Tatum has done well given the like how it started. Like he's
Yeah,
found his way into another role. Like yeah, it was super corny at first. I'm not gonna lie, it took an adjustment, but I mean,
I've heard worse. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard worse.
definitely heard worse. So I'm excited for that. That comes out this weekend. With Disney hosting their own kind of like not panel, but not say conference, but I don't know if I want to call it con, but it's not a con because everybody's not invited. But it's one of them things that's displayed. So they talk about all the Disney stuff coming up, and we think that's when it would be one of the bigger things. Um, so I'm happy and I'm looking forward to that. And let me just go ahead and throw out my pitch for the X-Men thing. I do think that the route they're gonna go is one. It's been confirmed that like that old man that got hit by the taxi actually survived.
Mhm. Of
I
course.
should have thought, yeah, it's actually survived, and I figured that couldn't be the issue because once you like kill somebody, especially in the Marvel universe, that's you know that's pretty bad. Like we're not talking about like people bringing back like Tony. We're talking about like we seen what Scarlet did in
Right.
one of the Avenger movies, and I blew up. So I knew they couldn't go that route. But I do think that this is going to be like a grounded, not a grounded film, but a film of kind of like survival. I think that Jean Grey is going to be going from place to place to place.
Mm.
Kind of just like hitching, going bus stop to bus stop, which is something we never seen, and also something that's very underrated. That sometimes we haven't really seen in the comics as much as the original group and their background growing up. They just kind of jettisoned us to it because they're the leaders of the X-Men at that time and go to Charles Xavier. So if they're gonna go
Mm.
that route, I like that they're gonna kind of be really figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? I do think Scott. I do think Scott is going to be, one of the guys she find, and they figure that out. I think that Emma Frost. But people don't understand that Emma Frost used to be a teacher as well. Like she's one of
Yeah,
the older
the
ones.
professor. Yeah.
Professor. So I think that what's going to happen is I think Emma Frost, given her personality and stuff like that, she's going to be with like the elitists or the higher, like I guess some type of elitists in the country itself, and be in that role and try to bring them on board and stuff like that. She's going to try to like teach them about how the ways of the world work, and they're just going to break off and kind of do their own thing when they feel like it's wrong and go to Charles Xavier. If that something along those lines happen, kind of like another, like I said, not dark, but kind of gritty figuring out. Would you prefer that route rather than the standard go straight to Charles and start figuring things out?
Yeah, for sure. Because for one, you gotta find a way to introduce a universe. You gotta find a way to bring in these other mutants or special powered beings, whatever they're being called at the moment. But for her to go around and to not necessarily be tracking mutants, but just trying to find her place, I think that's a better story than just oh, we already have a place for you. We've existed in years for silence, some bullshit like that. Because that don't make sense. But yeah, I think that'd be a better way. And you kind of get to see, like I said, like keep it grounded. Yeah, you get to see like the real world, darker side of what X-Men is, because these stories are dark. You know what I'm saying? Like they tested on Wolverine, they tested on Magneto. You know what I'm saying? He's a survivor,
Yeah,
all types of shit. So the stories of X-Men are pretty dark. So for her to be going around like and getting to see like how shit is operating now that she's just out and about, and she's also technically ducking the DODC, like I think that'd be a way better story. She just finds home in safety with Charles Xavier at the end of at the end of the movie, or what I'm saying, like he'll probably be trying to contact her telepathically, especially with Emma Frost's power you bring up. Like she's a super strong telepath too. So
hmm
I'm liking that direction way better than the generic one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that too. Taking learning from Emma Frost in the beginning, realizing it's wrong, and then she gets in contact with Xavier through telepath, through just being a telepath, and he's like, "Hey, I got somewhere actually where you won't have to be with the inner circle and all these inner workings that Emma Frost in because she's big on money, fashion, and being into that elitist group. You can come here and learn as a child and learn how to use your powers and stuff like that, and then that potentially starts the actual X Men. I think that I would like that a lot too.
Yeah, I'm about to say that
Uh,
you could do, because Emma Frost's not necessarily a hero either. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying.
she could just be out here on her dirtbag shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, come party with me in the elites of New York and all these other cool superpowered beings. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll see that. I can see that too. Before she transferred over to the good side.
Yeah, and I mean that makes sense though, right? Like that makes sense also too. While mutants are now like out there, but not out there. They are hiding and surviving. Like we've seen that stuff too. We've seen stuff like, for example, that's not there, like Men in Black. How
Hmm.
everything, how the world is like gone, but you have aliens just living amongst the world, kind of transitioning into the actual world, so people don't really know that aliens exist on the planet. If they go that angle, I wouldn't be mad at it, honestly, and that's the only thing they could necessarily, if they're going to do it to make sense. We migrate with society to survive, and the people
Yeah.
that, yeah, the people that's higher up are the ones that's working for other companies and stuff like that. So
I mean, as long as they don't do like, because now that we're talking about it, like the closest thing that could kind of resemble that, or that they tried to do, was Secret Invasion, another failed TV show. But they tried to do it with a Secret Invasion with the Skrulls, but I don't think it went over. I just think it's a lot that, man. What a
uh, I,
I was gonna say the CGI. I was gonna say like the acting, but yeah, I think the plot points were crazy in there, but um yeah, so that's the closest thing that they tried to do with, like, hey, like, we're living amongst the people. I think it'll be a little bit easier with mutants than it would be with aliens, though,
for
for sure.
sure. I think that's too true too. I think that's true too. Even though that's like the aliens thing with the scourge stuff like that, like that's
Mhm.
something that they really couldn't migrate. That's like what they. It just really suffered from piss poor writing. Secret War should have been a lot better, but I digress. Speaking of Marvel, still, let's go ahead and transition to Doomsday. Right.
Mhm.
So Doomsday, they have been talking about Doctor Strange. So this is something that I also said that I gathered notes. There's a lot of rumors on the internet, and what we do here, bring it apart, is try to go filter through those rumors, take a look at who's saying them, stuff like that, and bring out which ones that we really should pay attention to. That was one of the ones that was one of the ones I brought up, that the hard thing with Loki is Dark and Doctor Strange, per the comic, being like his sheriff. Now we
Mhm.
have the black suit. It look like it have an eye on the helmet,
Right.
and that's looking like that's coming to fruition. So I mean, if this script is put together with all the rumors and stuff that I sent y'all like last week is right,
Mhm.
not gonna lie, or even not right, maybe 60%, maybe 50%. I'll take 50% of it right. I'm not gonna lie, Doomsday, and yeah, that shit's gonna be crazy.
I mean, from what I've seen two theories going around. What's told me on the Doctor Strange thing was the third eye situation on the helmet and just the size of the costume itself. The other theory I seen was that it was his like father, mentor Boris, that's gonna be in there, kind of playing like how Thanos in Infinity War had Ebony Maw just
Yeah,
kind of be like his advisor. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's good with magic, can use magic, and has taught Doom the magic himself. So um, it was another dude named Boris, his old advisor that he just put in armor to carry around with him. But I seen the size of the costume. I seen
mm,
the costume design itself. I'm like, all right, this makes a little bit more sense for. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch ain't that much younger, but it makes sense, And they also had their own little chemistry situation going on in Infinity War. So, you
yeah,
know, Tony and Doctor Strange, and just Robert Downey and Benedict, and they also done, what's the other show? Sherlock Holmes together as well. So they already have a chemistry working together on camera.
yep.
So I think they can play off each other well if it is Doctor Strange. And that would kind of lean towards I think we'll be able to see that God Emperor Doom moment where he rips Thanos' skull out or his skeleton out. If Doctor Strange is there, it'll make a lot of sense. We've already seen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange's version of winning the war, where he had to
Yeah.
get killed by Black Ball. So it'll make sense if it happens again in Doctor Doom's world, where they try to take down Thanos, and that's how he gets his first power. So, I
I
mean,
got
I'm a
that.
I'm a fan. Doctor Strange is one of the most powerful magicians in there, and we see Doctor Doom is using some very very powerful magic. So
Yeah.
it's lining up.
I mean, I would say I wouldn't mind the Boris thing either. I've been hearing that too, but it's just like that third eye that's on that patch is the thing that kind of like sway me a little bit more to that being Doctor Strange. Also, I'm also kind of follow up and thinking that when Doctor Strange, the end of Doctor Strange, Cleo came out there and said we got to
Mm,
encourage you. You created one. We're going to go fix it. My assumption is Cleo is the purple one,
yeah,
and which was name. And I think that she's the purple one, and I think that that now that and she's already working for Doom,
that'll make sense.
and she went to go get Doctor Strange. Like you said, we talked about Emma Frost being like not being like a hero. Doctor Strange isn't either. Doctor Strange is a
Mm.
hero for sure, but he's more logical. Like he is willing to sacrifice the lives for what he believes is the greater good.
He was about to
So,
kill him niggas. He was about to kill him niggas in Spider Man. They step up. That's why he got
but
power bomb.
nah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was ready. He was ready to. He's like, dog, we're not doing this. Even in Avengers, everybody, we gotta do it this way. And he's sitting up here like, bruh, it's the only way.
The only
Everybody
way,
like,
man.
nah, that's crazy. He's like, bruh, I'm telling you, this is the only way.
Y'all gotta die, man.
so so this wouldn't be the first time, you know. So I would think that's cool. Obviously the rumors going around that like Scarlet Witch is probably one of them, but it's orange. So I think it's like
Mm.
what's the woman what's the woman to see all the stuff that she tracks the timeline from Avengers when
That
she knocked out Hulk,
ancient one.
the ancient one. Yeah, maybe one of them. And I'm starting to think that I'm starting to think that some people are speculating third, maybe Scarlet Witch. I would think it's Scarlet Witch, but what we saw, the problem is, is we saw that one is orange, one is
Mm.
green, and one is
Mm.
purple. We thought it was red, and they were switching it around, but I think those are the ones we're going with. Scarlet, I don't think it's in this one, so I think that's the three, and I think obviously the green one is Loki. Loki's either not for Loki itself, maybe Loki Heart or the alternate version of Loki, the woman,
The
and
girl
maybe she's
Sylvie.
and guaranteeing her a spot in somewhere else, etc. So those would be awesome, and I'll also be just fine with just being witches and followers of Doom. That's cool too.
The witches.
Yeah, man, just people following Doom. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole country. Not
Yeah,
like you know,
facts.
yeah. So it wouldn't be out the realm of possibility that he got three people and start to teach them magic and like y'all follow me and this is what y'all gonna do. Like it's such a Doom thing. So I'm not mad at that at all,
Yeah,
man.
facts. And people taught him magic, so it would make sense for him to be like the king or like the emperor of his country to kind of like go on and have his own followers. Like I said, like in a Thanos type way, like Thanos had he had four children. You know what I'm saying? So they follow him around. They did his bit, and it only makes sense for the big villain like Doom to have his own. Um, and on your Loki point or the witch's point, I've been seeing it might be Agatha if it's not clear from Doctor Strange. They're saying it might be Agatha. Agatha all along. She had her own version of the Darkhold. So
Yeah, that's
that,
pretty
that,
powerful.
that could be a factor. And with Sylvie, I think that makes a lot of sense with her being the next variant because she would know where Loki is. Loki dropped her off in the middle of a timeline, and he also stopped her timeline from being destroyed. So she know what an incursion is. She know how dangerous it could be. And at the end of Loki season 2, he kind of just dropped her off in the middle of nowhere and let her run free. So it only makes sense for Doctor Strange to go grab his own version of a Loki. So yeah,
That's what I'm
I'm rolling.
saying.
I'm rolling. The only other thing, like with the Scarlet Witch joint, like Orange will throw it off, but I don't think they would cast two surprise magicians. Like I don't think they would throw Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch on the same team. That's just OP. That's just OP. I mean, I'm not. He OP already. He OP already. But
Mhm.
Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, these niggas have no shot in hell, bro. Like it's bad.
I would say also to answer the question, old man came in there and said that Loki maybe reach if he's holding up the timelines. I think that okay. Oh, I'm going to send you like the little script I made maybe a week last week. Was it last week or the week before that?
A week before.
Yeah, week before. So I had this for like 2 weeks gathering around rumors, putting them together, figuring out what's what, and then typing in between them to make them kind of connect. So I'm gonna send that to you, brother. I'm gonna send that to you. You gonna see. But Loki Hart, I know y'all been telling me that I've been crazy saying Loki's gonna die and he's gonna get some pain in this because the story. But now it's lining up. I'm not sounding so crazy.
Not
Story
at
got
all.
yeah, his whole storyline. Now all of a sudden he got a show. Now the show getting cut. You know, like it's the shows, and I'm just saying, man, this is something I threw out way back then. But either way, I'm still like really really excited to see it, and ironically, this they're not ruining news. Like this is not ruining nothing for me. Usually I downplay it, but yeah.
I mean, because these are still castings. They've actually done a pretty good job from not leaking too much considering all the things, what I'm saying, that's going on. I know when
Mhm.
Infinity War and Endgame came out, like Chris Pratt leaked the set, what I'm saying? You seen everybody who was on set, seeing them in a taking their battle poses and shit. But what we really gotta like what's really gonna help aid or like change some of these theories is the encore, in-game encore in September next month.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's yeah. On that one,
so
so yep.
it's some. I don't know if it's AI. I don't know. The AI has been kind of like 70% accurate. So it's been some footage going around from the in game, like showing the extra scenes. It's been some footage going around for the trailer for that for the in game encore. So I mean, they holding it. They trying to hold it down, but we might get something. We might get something. Shut up,
Glimpse it has wow, wow.
shut up, my
Lou,
nigga.
man.
Nigga is
Okay,
crazy.
that
But yeah,
is crazy.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I ain't mad at it either way. Because, like I said, Doom got to learn his magic from somewhere. He has to become this ultimate powerful being from somehow. So somebody's got to teach him something. If it's Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange and Sylvie and Clea, I mean, shit, it'll validate it. It'll validate it for me.
Yeah, even if it's Boris the teacher, like you said, and I don't put that out of like speculation as well. Like he's because eventually he becomes a sorcerer supreme in some form of fashion. So I wouldn't be shocked if Boris like was the one to teach Doctor Strange and realized that he met Doom, and now he's like, no, you should be the sorcerer supreme. So that would be cool. Um, Speaking about connective tissue and stuff like that, as far as the Marvel universe, let's talk about Blade and Ghost Rider, right? So many of you know that obviously Kevin Feige said he feels like a big loser because he couldn't make it happen, and that Ali came out said
Hey
that if they
man,
wanted, said that they didn't want to, if they wanted to make a Blade movie, they would have. Come to find out that there's a few things that wasn't like, and Ali man got in his own way with this as well. So one, Kevin Feige wanted they had disagreements on how they saw Blade. They went through three iterations of Blade. One 1920, that's where they made Sinners and took this casting and the uniforms and stuff. Then gave them to Cougar to make Sinners. Those costumes was originally for Blade, ironically.
Mhm.
The other iteration of that, he's protecting a little girl, and that's still older. And then it's one that was modern. But those are one of the three plots they couldn't decide on. Ali also had heavy hands in that. He disagreed with one of them. One of the bigger things that I think that this is what killed the project is that Ali was fighting against the connective universe. So he wanted to Blade to be his own thing and stuff like that away from the universe. But Kevin Feige and Marvel was like, no, we wanted to connect. Hence, that's why we saw him talking to what's his name being a Black Knight. and
Jon
Blade
Snow.
talking to him. Jon Snow being the Black Knight, yeah, and Blade talking to him like, "Do you think you're ready?" Essentially. So it sounds like Ali wasn't a fan of all that. Um, and last but not least, before we start talking more about the topic, I'm just providing information. Another thing they didn't like is that Blade wouldn't have been the main person, and
Mhm.
traditionally it would have been Ghost Rider. And a lot of Midnight Suns villains are Ghost Rider villains, which makes sense because Ghost Rider's broken.
Right.
And they wanted there was some conflict between Blade being the main guy and Ghost Rider being the main guy. So with all that information being said, I'll go ahead and give you the full flavor. What you think?
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, all right, it's always hard to decide on a story. I do kind of get what Ali was saying. Like, if they wanted to make it happen, they could have made it happen. They could have made it happen because we just talked about it in depth, like how many changes the Spider-Man story went through. So, if they wanted to make it happen, they could have made it happen. But at a certain point, you kind of just stop pursuing. Just like, all right, bro, we're not gonna take so much backlash, or not necessarily backlash, but we're not gonna take so many. We're just not gonna keep negotiating. We gave you an opportunity, y'all couldn't get it done. They hired new writers, they sent them out, sent them back in. New editing teams sent them out, sent them back in. New directors sent it out, sent it back in. Like, eventually, this joint is just a non-starter, unfortunately. But when it comes down to like the connective tissue and bringing in Ghost Rider, like unfortunately, that's the name of the game. So he probably kind of shot himself in the foot. It's like I don't know what you want to do. Like, do you want to be the oldest mutant, or do you want to like how far back do you want to? I would have wanted to see a 1920s, 1930s Blade, honestly. Even though if you tied into the Eternals, like, oh, y'all been here for this long and I've been here for this long because I'm a
Yeah,
vampire. I get that, but like I wouldn't want to see that. Um, Him protecting the little girl, I don't know if I would have wanted to see that either because all the Marvel movies have been like that, trying to save
mm,
some random kid. Um, so I don't know if that would have went over well. And in modern time probably would have been the best option because you have scrolls running around, you have superpowered beings running around, um, Mephisto running around, and the little things that were trying to kill the Eternals. He could have just been killing them, or I think that would have been the best way to do it. But bringing it into Ghost Rider, like I just Blade don't really got too many villains, bruh. He don't really got too many villains, bruh. So it's like you kind of got to find a way to show off your stuff. Like we're not just gonna create vampires. I mean, we
yeah,
could, but
could right.
they still got to come from somewhere. And if you're dealing with death, you're dealing with the darkness, you're dealing with the underworld. I think you kind of got to lean on somebody like the Ghost Rider. You kind of got to lean on the Midnight Suns a little bit. We kind of seen that fail. I think that's why they didn't do a Daredevil movie because he ain't had that many villains. Or like a Defenders movie never got off. A Luke Cage movie never got off because they don't really have that many villains. They're fighting Kingpin majority of the time, or Kingpin's like henchman. So you got to play ball just a little bit, but at the same time, if the script asks, the script asks. I'd rather it not come out than us have to watch it and it'd be terrible. Because Eternals was terrible. We don't know where they were going to position this in the timeline, if I'm not mistaken. And if it was coming
Yeah,
out in that mid Kane the Conqueror rewrite situation, I would have not went
yeah.
to the
That's the time period they would have been in. They would have been in like that big jumble. So, I mean, to me, I think that he kind of shot himself in the foot. I understand, like you said, the frustration of we bring writers in to bring back and forth, but it's like if this is what they want and you've wanted to fight it, because I mean, apparently a lot of the script was them beefing about it.
Yeah,
So Blade or he could have had a team up with Moon Knight. Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been cool.
that's
But I
valid.
mean, yeah, but I mean, that's when we talk about the villains. Like even Moon Knight series, as much as I liked it, I don't think that like the villains or the organization they was going against really showed like a lot of it. And I think they're washing vampires when you put them together. So I kind of agree with DJ on that one that yeah, we would need ghosts. We need Ghost Rider level villains because I mean I'm gonna be honest with you. Even with Blade movies and stuff like that. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of the guys that he was fighting couldn't hang with Blade.
Right.
They wrote it like that to be nice, but like Blade is the pinnacle. He's the perfect blend. So it's like nobody really could touch him. So bringing in on that, either way, I would have liked to see it. I think that he shot himself in the foot with that because I think they're going to eventually move forward with it. But
Yeah, they're
uh,
gonna put it out. They're definitely
yeah,
gonna put it out. But I think what they should have just did was the same thing that they did with Punisher, which is another like T or like point for him. Like if they wanted it out, they could get it out. Like, bro, let me shoot a one shot special to just introduce the character. If we want to make it bigger, we can make it bigger from there. Pause. But if if you want to develop, we could develop from there. But this thing has been hyped up for so long for us to just leave it on the cutting board is ridiculous.
yeah.
At least let me get one last kill off. Like I'll just shoot it, do a couple stunts. Because the thing is, he got another movie coming out that looked fire where he playing a hitman or like
Are you
an
talking about the
assassin.
mother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that boy looks so tough. So I'm like, all right, obviously, like the nigga ain't losing a step. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have
I
shot this
mean,
movie. Bro. We could have shot
nah,
it.
he did mention that when people were talking about it. He said, "Yeah, I put my other Blade stills to another movie that's coming up," and that's the one he was referring to.
I'm sure.
So I
Actors do
mean,
it all the time. Like they'll shoot like a side project to get ready for their big role, like their franchise role. They do it all the time. But you still should have shot something, bro. Like drop the
hey,
trailer at least.
hey, you
I
know
see
what?
Robert Pattinson in a Batman suit and a light behind him, and I said this is gonna be fine. That shit ain't coming out to 2028
It's not coming out of 2020. Oh my gosh, and that's pissing me off. 'Cause We're
for sure.
we're gonna there. We're like right now. That's to me one after that trilogy. That's gonna be the best Batman to me. In my honest opinion, by the time it's done, that's gonna be the best Batman, bro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa. Oh, we
yeah.
only letting Tom Holland get off. We only letting Tom Holland get off. We ain't letting Robert Pattinson take the Batman throne. We
Hey,
didn't give him the Spider Man throne. We not giving up the Batman throne. There can only be one.
listen. Hey, look. Not gonna lie to you.
Come on, man.
Christian Bale is not my favorite Batman. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's not my favorite It's
Adam
not my
West?
favorite Batman. He said,
Okay.
"What?
Your favorite Batman, Adam West? You like the gray and
You
black suit?
funny? You
The boom
funny as
pow.
hell." Look,
Oh,
oh man,
man.
that's a bold. Hey, look. All I'm saying is that if I had to put anything between it, like as far as like being Batman itself, my favorite one, ironically, definitely a bold claim, and that people are not gonna mess with it, is Batflag. He was the only person like the story. Look, the story, sure, the story right was mid. I
Mhm.
understand, but that's the whole thing. But look, all I'm saying is there's only one like Batman that felt like really menacing, and it's
Martha.
him, bruh. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, look, you know what? It's garbage, but I can tell you right now. If
Martha.
y'all want to throw Martha in there and put him in there, if we could go back time, have Batflack go against the Joker.
All
Hey,
right.
Keith.
I ain't all the way
Yeah.
mad at you. I ain't all the way mad at you. But the movie was so bad, bro. The
Oh
movie was
yeah.
so bad.
Movie was awful for sure. I'm not going to even doubt that. But his role, he was the only one that showed like this being scared of Batman and actually
Mhm.
producing. Like he was dang near killing them, and that's what we're used to seeing in the TV shows. Like, come on now, we people making jokes about it. Like, Would you rather deal with Superman or would you rather deal with Batman? Some people saying I'd rather deal with Superman because Superman gonna let it be done. I don't know
That's what
about
you
just
want.
him.
So
Martha, yeah, nah, that shit is crazy, man. Look, so that's like my bold take.
honestly, I'm not mad at you just off the fact of the way they positioned Batman in the Justice League and the story they told of him. Like he's old Bruce Wayne. Like he's not young outside still fighting, you know what I'm saying, trying to make a name for himself. Like he's already an established, I've seen the worst of the worst Batman. So I get it. And I ain't gonna hold you. The tech was fire. He was doing his thing. The story was just god awful.
It
But
was.
I can never. Come on, man. Come on, man. There's only one Batman, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, Christian Bale to me just also just wasn't like he wasn't like a dumb. He wasn't like I needed that bulk, strong.
He never got
That
super cut up. He never got super
yeah.
cut up.
I
But
mean, what?
he
Go
been
ahead.
doing this thing. I'm about to say like he was doing this thing. You've seen his journey to Batman, bro. They gave him 3 movies, so it's like you get a little bit more to like you know what I'm saying? You get a
Yeah,
little bit more context, but you've seen his journey through being Batman, bro. It's yeah, I think he did his thing, bro. And of course, Christopher Nolan. Come on, man. What
yeah.
are
I
we
mean,
doing?
Christopher Nolan put pizzazz on that too. So I mean, that's the thing about it. But also at the same time too, the reason why I'm hype on Patterson is because we're really seeing like a young Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing somebody figure it out. And also, Batman in that series is probably the only one that actually looks like Gotham, like gritty, like possibly
Gotham
dangerous.
is, I'll give you that. The
Yeah.
Gotham design is nice, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did not per se enjoy that movie, bro. I
Wow. I
didn't.
mean,
I didn't. I didn't like.
okay.
I think they always do Catwoman wrong. I think they spent too much time. Even though we got a fire penguin, I think they spent too much time on Catwoman. I feel like they always do Catwoman wrong. So was not a fan of that whole interaction. You feel me?
I got you. I mean, Catwoman, I think is a hard person to really like play. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they like you're right. Even there's no version of Catwoman in live action that's been good. So,
It's a tough test. They
yeah,
might as well find Batman got hella bitches. Like he got hella bitches, man. Like y'all could find a different one. Y'all could
that's
find a
for
different one.
sure.
We
But
ain't even seen the Black Cat at Marvel. I don't know why
oh
they
yeah,
keep trying to do Catwoman.
yeah, but yeah, I'm about to say, but nah, Marvel they mentioned that I think in Brand New Day that Black Cat is going to be the one helping like surf the internet and breaking through stuff to help him
That'd
out.
be
So that would be interesting. I think that's something that was mentioned. But to go back to that point, about like the Batman. Yeah, Patterson. I think Patterson like trilogy when it's done will end up being the best Batman to me. I enjoyed the first one, so
I don't even think it's on him. It's on the supporting cast. Because
yeah,
how do you top Heath Ledger's Joker? You feel me? Like not even
yeah.
off no nostalgia, none of that.
Nah, you're right. You're
Or
right.
how do you top Tom Hardy's Bane? I don't
I think that can be topped.
hit us all hit it. Whoa, that
Pause.
Bane that's so crazy. Bane is a tough out, bro. Bane is a tough out. Even though like I've seen the holes in like the you know niggas trying to take digs at his acting. It was crazy, but I
Hey
think
man,
he
so
did his
yeah,
thing, and I think the story was fire because they ain't even. I don't even. They should touch on the League of Shadows more into Robert Pattinson's
bruh.
thing.
Well, no, I heard they're doing the Court of Owls.
Oh, that
See, not fire. You hear
now,
me?
now we talking. Now we talking.
That's what I'm
We can,
saying.
I
So
can get with that.
yeah, so the Court of Owls is supposed to be like the winter Mr. Freeze thing, but that's what's supposed to be for the second movie. And if that's the case, then I'm telling you, it's a great start. I don't think nobody's going to be able to outdo Keith being transparent, but like the first the first movie can definitely me get it out of there. Second one, I'm not going Joker too. And you know what? I hate to say this. Third one, I'm iffy on because my
Stop
boy Tom. Nah, Tom. Come on, bro. Tom.
it.
Let's just keep it a buck, bro. Tom definitely floated that role, but the Bane in itself and how it was done to me wasn't that all that impressive. It's just that you put a great actor on it and he carried the role.
For
Like
sure.
I personally think so. But like but that's the thing about the Joker. Good actor, good writing to me, good scenes, flashy scenes. You're able to it's just they couldn't recreate the intimidation that the Joker did. In Bane, I wanted to be way more of a crime boss per se. But don't get me wrong, he got some, he got some hard lines.
Shit off. He got his shit off. But I get what you mean though. He should have been a little bit more not grounded, but should have been a little bit more active. If
Hey,
he would
old
have
man
done
talking
right,
that shit.
he might be the best Batman
I,
movie.
I agree, bro.
That's a
I
tall
agree.
task, but if it's done right, bro, like Yeah. Might have to. My argument might have to sway, gang.
And this is the second movie in the trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's going to be on to a good start. I'm just mad that it got pushed back. Honestly, that's the thing I'm pissed about.
Yeah, man. And it was on a good road too. You know what I'm saying? I know like DC's having their own little contractual situations, but just the DC universe in its expansion has been on a good roll. I know niggas ain't like Supergirl, but the Penguin saga was fire. Peacemaker's fire. We got Lanterns coming up soon. So
Yeah, I'm
hopefully this
excited.
may have to get pushed back, but it might be worth it. I wasn't a real fan of the first Batman, but hey, if that's where we going, I'm with it. I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Me too. Me too. I mean, well, I'm a fan of it. I mean, but I'm big on comic book s things, and Batman Year One was a very good comic and very underrated. And seeing
Mhm.
the younger Batman, Commissioner Gordon being younger, like, and having them both start, and also just seeing this Batman be a detective. Biggest thing.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Oh, hold on. Oh man, got some. Let Christopher Nolan cast the villains, and they will be a banker. I ain't gonna
Man,
hold you. That'd be
they
the greatest shit ever.
ain't got to check for that. They
They
do
ain't
not
gotta
got to
check
check for
that.
that.
Look, he already taking my money. I just seen Odyssey this weekend at 2:30 in the morning. 70 million, hey, 70 millions, baby. You know what I'm saying? I had to go see it.
Movie of the
Elite.
year. Movie of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. I was lucky to see that. I probably release a video just talk about that, honestly.
Great
But
movie, man.
great movie. You should go see it. With that being said, I know that our time is close to an hour, but I wanted to finish 10 o'clock, give everybody tonight. It's Monday. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and cut it here. I think we addressed a lot of things that came up. Check out videos and maybe cut up and stuff for different topics. If you didn't tune into the live stream, like, comment, subscribe. We have a special guest next week. You know what I'm saying? They've done some work. Some people that's done some work in some projects. I'm gonna let her go ahead and tell her journey when she get here. You know what I'm saying? But look up for the page, look for pictures. We're gonna be promoting that, and we should be trying to aim for Tuesdays. So just want to get together with the team and stuff and let everybody know. So with that being said, y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later on this week.
All that.
Sports.
Take for take.
Take
Tap
the
back.
take.